Something strange happens to a photographer after he's been shooting for 10 or 15 years. You begin to realize something. That the images are not the only valuable thing that you've created. The real value is in the knowledge that's behind those images. The decisions, the mistakes, and the lessons you've learned after taking thousands of images. The way you read the light when it hits the landscape. The way you walk through a scene looking for structure. And the way you decide whether or not a photograph should exist at all. All those decisions become instinct after many years of photography. And here's something that many photographers don't realize. That knowledge is incredibly valuable to someone who's just beginning. A beginner photographer might spend years trying to learn what you already understand intuitively, which means something important begins to happen. Photography stops being just an art form and starts being something else. It becomes a skill that can be taught. And once photography becomes something teachable, it becomes something that can generate income. Some photographers eventually discover something surprising. That one weekend workshop can generate the same income as dozens of prints. That realization changes everything they think about photography forever. Because suddenly the value is not only just the photograph, it's the knowledge behind the photograph. And today we're going to explore the second major layer of photography income, education. The simplest educational income stream is the local photography workshop. And this is where many photographers begin. A workshop is simply a group of photographers learning together in the field. You choose the topic: landscape photography, long exposure photography, nighttime photography, or your editing workflow. Then you invite a small group to learn with you. Most workshops start small. 5 people, 6 people, maybe 10 people. And the economics of this become interesting very quickly. $300 per student times 6 students. That's an $1,800 workshop. $500 times 6 students, now you're looking at $3,000 for the weekend. The reason why people attend workshops is not for information. It's for something deeper. That's guidance. They want to stand beside someone who understands the craft and can answer questions in real time. Someone who can look at a scene and explain to them why the photograph works. If you want to start offering photography workshops, here's 3 practical tips. First, choose a narrow topic. Instead of offering a general photography class, focus on something specific, like long exposure photography for waterfalls or composition for sunrise landscapes. Clear topics attract more students. Second, choose a location that you know extremely well. Teaching is a lot easier when you understand the light, the composition, and all the angles. Third, keep the group small. 6 to 8 people is ideal. Large groups reduce the personal attention that the students are looking for. Let me ask you something. If a beginner photographer followed you around for an entire day while you were photographing, what would they learn? How you read light, how you decide where to place your tripod, why you choose one lens over another, why you wait 10 minutes longer than anyone else. Those decisions may seem ordinary to you, but to someone learning photography, those small decisions become incredibly valuable. And that's where teaching begins. Photography tours are the natural extension of a photography workshop. Some tours can last 5 days, or 10. You guide photographers through a location that you understand deeply. It might be the coast, it might be the mountains, it might be a national park, or even another country. Tours create something that workshops can't: immersion. They're experiencing the place through the eyes of someone who knows how to photograph it. Now the economics become quite different. Tour prices can range from $2,500 to $5,000. 8 participants on a tour can create $20,000 or $40,000 in gross revenue. Tours require planning, transportation, accommodation, location scouting, and safety. If you ever decide to run a tour, 3 things that matter most. Know the location very well. Build a clear itinerary, and partner with reliable local services if the tour requires travel. Many photographers discover that tours are one of their most rewarding income streams because they involve photography, teaching, and travel. Another educational income stream is the photography ebook. This is one of the simplest things a photographer can create. An ebook might explain your composition process, your editing workflow, how to scout a location, or even the philosophy of seeing. Ebooks often sell between $10, $15, or $60 depending on the subject matter. But the most important detail is this: once you've created it, it can sell for years. 3 practical tips if you ever decide to write one. First, solve a specific problem. For example, how to photograph blue hour, how to use long exposures, and how to use composition in landscapes. Second, include real examples from your own work. People learn much faster when they see real photographs and the thinking behind them. Third, keep the writing conversational. An ebook should feel like someone is walking beside you in the field. Online courses expand the same idea further. Instead of written instruction, you record the process. Students will see how you exactly approach photography, how you compose, how you adjust settings, and how you edit. Courses typically sell between $100 and $500, and once they're recorded, they become scalable. One course can reach hundreds or even thousands of students. If you'd ever decide to build a course, focus on 3 things: clarity, structure, and real-time demonstrations. Show the process, don't only explain it. Students want to see exactly how decisions are made. Many photographers are hesitant to teach. They feel that they lack the experience. But teaching photography doesn't require perfection. It requires clarity. If you are one step ahead of someone else, then you can teach them that step. And something interesting happens when you begin to explain something you know. You start understanding your craft more deeply. Teaching often makes photographers better photographers. Mentoring and portfolio reviews are another powerful educational income stream. They are usually one-on-one sessions. A photographer shares their images and you analyze them together. Story, composition, structure, direction. These sessions often range from $100 to $400 per hour, and many photographers earn a strong reputation from this process, because mentoring creates transformation. A single hour of focused feedback can change how a photography sees their work for years. Some photographers eventually build learning communities. With a monthly membership, members can receive image critiques, tutorials, live discussions, behind-the-scenes content. Memberships often cost $10 to $40 a month. Even a small community creates consistency. 100 members paying $20 per month creates a $2,000 monthly income. And more importantly, it creates connection, a group of photographers learning together. Educational YouTube content becomes another layer of this system. Teaching photography through video, explaining techniques, sharing experience, and over time, advertising revenue can add to this monetary ecosystem. But the real power of YouTube is something else: discovery. It introduces your work to the world, which feeds the other income streams: courses, workshops, print sales, ebooks, mentoring. It all starts to become connected. At this point, something important becomes visible. Photography income starts forming a structure. The first layer, physical artwork, prints, galleries, art markets. The second layer, education, workshops, courses, mentoring, and communities. And the third layer, we'll explore in the next episode: licensing, where photographs can generate income long after they were created. Most photographers begin by asking one question: how do I sell my photographs? But a better question might be this: how many ways can my photography move through the world? As prints, as knowledge, as experience? When prints, education, and licensing start working together, something remarkable happens. Photography becomes more than art. It becomes a system. A system capable of supporting a life built around seeing. In the next episode, we'll explore the final layer: licensing, stock photography, brand partnerships, corporate art collections. The quiet ways that a photographer can generate income without even holding a camera. If you want to follow along with this journey, like the video and subscribe. I'll be documenting this process step by deliberate step. The light doesn't wait, and neither should we.